If I had known you would grow into this useless thing, I wish you were never born.
Mama, please.
Shut up! Your life is nothing but a curse in my house.
The first cock had not yet crown when Adanna's feet touched the cold earth. Her small hands trembled as she lifted the clay pot onto her head, her thin arms struggling under its weight. The darkness before dawn was her only companion as she walked the winding path to the stream, her bare feet bleeding from the sharp stones. "Foolish girl, the water is not even cold." Mama Nkechi's voice would crack like a whip when she returned. It always did. Adanna was 19 now, but hardship had worn her down. Hunger had carved hollows into her cheeks. Years of labor had bent her young shoulders. Yet her eyes, those gentle, knowing eyes, still held a light that no cruelty could extinguish. She had not always been a slave in her own home. Once, there had been laughter. Once, her father had lifted her onto his shoulders and called her his precious jewel. Once, her real mother had braided her hair with love and sung songs of the old spirits who watched over good children. But death had come for them both. First, her mother, taken by fever when Adanna was only 7. Then her father, who remarried quickly, too quickly, hoping to give his daughter a mother's care. Mama Nkechi had smiled sweetly then, her words dripping with honey. I would love her as my own, she had promised. The honey turned to poison the day Adanna's father died. You eat my food, you sleep under my roof, you will walk until your bones remember who feeds you. Mama Nkechi had hissed that very night, her true face finally revealed. And so, Adanna worked. She fetched water before sunrise. She swept the compound until her back screamed. She cooked meals she was not allowed to eat. She farmed land that would never be hers. And when she stumbled from exhaustion, Mama Nkechi's wooden cane found her ribs. Lazy child, useless mouth. The village women whispered their pity when the 19-year-old Adanna passed, but no one intervened. Who challenges a woman in her own home? Who stands between a stepmother and her husband's child? So Adanna suffered in silence, her only comfort the prayers she whispered to her dead parents each night. If you can hear me, she would whisper into the darkness, please send me help. Mama Nkechi stood in her compound one evening, staring at the cracked walls of her mud house. Around her, other families prospered. Their children wore wrappers of fine cloth. Their granaries overflowed with yams. Their livestock multiplied. But she had nothing. Nothing except a 19-year-old stepdaughter whose beauty grew despite starvation, whose kindness made villagers smile despite their pity, whose very existence was a living reminder of Mama Nkechi's bitter failures. It should have been me, she muttered, grinding her teeth. I should have married a wealthy man. I should have gold on my wrists and respect in the village square. As darkness fell, she heard footsteps. An old man emerged from the shadows, too old perhaps to be walking alone at night. His back was bent, his wrapper torn and dusty, but his eyes gleamed with something ancient and terrible. Good evening, Mama, he said, his voice like dry leaves scraping stone. What do you want, old man? Mama Nkechi snapped. I have no food to spare. I do not come for food, he smiled, revealing teeth that seemed too white, too sharp. I come with an offer. An offer? You have something I want. I have something you need. He gestured toward her compound. You are poor, bitter, desperate. I can change that. Mama Nkechi's heart quickened. How? The old man's smile widened. Give me the girl. the 19-year-old who is not yours. Give her to me, and I will give you wealth beyond measure, gold, yams that never spoil, palm oil that flows like a river, cows, respect, everything you have ever wanted." "Adanna," Mama Nkechi's voice caught. For a moment, just a moment, something like conscience flickered in her chest. "She is of no use to you," the old man whispered, stepping closer. "She eats your food, she lives in your house, she takes and gives nothing back. But to us, to my masters, she is valuable." "Who are your masters?" "The spirits of the forest, the ancient ones. They have watched her. They want her." His eyes glowed in the darkness. "Give her to us willingly, and you will have everything. Refuse, and you will die as poor as you were born." Mama Nkechi's hands shook. Greed and fear warred in her heart. She thought of her poverty, her shame, her envy. She thought of Adanna's face, young and innocent at 19. And then she thought of gold. "When?" she whispered. "Tomorrow night. Bring her to the forest edge. We will do the rest." The old man pressed something cold into her palm, a small pouch. "Here is your first gift, a taste of what is to come." When Mama Nkechi opened it, gold coins gleamed in the moonlight. The old man was already gone. "Adanna, come here." Adanna looked up from the fire where she was cooking evening meal, surprised. Mama Nkechi's voice was different, almost kind. "Yes, Mama." "I have good news." Mama Nkechi's smile didn't reach her eyes. "I have found a distant relative, a wealthy woman who lives 3 villages away. She has no children. She wants to take you in, give you a better life." Adanna's heart leaped with hope, then immediately sank with suspicion. At 19, she had learned to recognize false kindness. You are sending me away?" "For your own good, child. She will feed you properly, clothe you, treat you well." Mama Nkechi stirred a gourd of palm wine, adding herbs and powder when Adanna wasn't looking. "Here, drink this. It is a special drink for travelers. It will protect you on the journey." Adanna hesitated. Something felt wrong. But what choice did she have? She was so tired of suffering, so hungry for kindness. She drank. The world tilted. "Mama, I feel..." Her legs gave way. "Shh, child. Sleep now." Adanna's eyes fluttered closed, and she knew, too late, that she had been betrayed. When Adanna's eyes opened again, she was moving. Not walking, being carried. Strong arms held her, but they were not human arms. The fingers were too long, too cold. She could smell earth and ancient wood and something else, something that made her soul tremble. "Please," she whispered through drugged lips, "please, where are you taking me?" No answer. Only the sound of footsteps, many footsteps moving deeper into the forest. The darkness swallowed her screams. "Papa! Papa, help me! Mama, where are you?" But her parents were in the spirit world, and she was being taken there to join them. The trees grew thicker. The air grew colder. And then suddenly, the world shifted. Colors bleeding into sounds, darkness turning liquid and alive. She had crossed into the spirit realm. Adanna woke on a floor of polished stone that glowed like captured moonlight. She sat up slowly, her head spinning. Around her stretched a palace beyond human imagining, pillars of pure light, walls that breathed, ceilings painted with moving constellations. Beings moved in the shadows, some beautiful, some terrible, all watching her with eyes that saw through flesh into soul. "She is awake." The voice came from everywhere and nowhere. 7 figures emerged from the light, tall, ancient, wrapped in cloth that seemed woven from starlight and shadow. Their faces were neither young nor old, neither cruel nor kind. "Adanna, daughter of Obi, child of sorrow," the central figure spoke. "Do you know where you are?" "The spirit realm," Adanna whispered, tears streaming down her face. "Please, I did not ask to come here. My stepmother—" "We know. Your stepmother sold you for gold, for yams, for her own greed." The spirit's voice held no anger, only ancient truth. She did not know what she was doing. Then will you send me back?" "That depends." "On what?" "On who you truly are." The spirit circled her slowly, studying her with eyes that burned with knowledge. "We have watched you since birth, child. Watched you suffer. Watched you endure. Watched you remain kind when cruelty would have been easier. Tell us, when your stepmother beat you, what did you feel?" Adanna swallowed. Pain, sadness, but also pity. Pity? Yes, because she is so unhappy, because her heart is so empty. I prayed for her to find peace. The spirits exchanged glances. "When you were giving scraps while others feasted, what did you do?" I shared them with the street children who had even less." "And when villagers whispered about your suffering, what did you wish?" "That no one else would have to feel this pain." Silence. Then, slowly, the central spirit smiled. "You have passed the first test. Your heart is pure." The spirit raised a hand and light poured from her palm. "But there are more tests to come. Tests of patience, tests of wisdom, tests of your very soul. If you pass them all, a destiny awaits you beyond your imagination. If you fail—" "I will try my best," Adanna whispered. "Then let the trials begin." The first test came without warning. Adanna found herself in a garden of impossible beauty. Flowers that sang, trees that wept crystal tears, grass soft as clouds beneath her feet. In the center stood a table laden with food, roasted meat, fresh yams, ripe fruits, honey cakes that made her empty stomach cry out in desperation. A voice echoed through the garden. "You have starved for years. Eat. Take your fill. No one is watching." Adanna's hands trembled. Her mouth watered. Every fiber of her being screamed for her to eat. But beside the table, she noticed something. A small bird, wounded, its wing broken, chirping weakly. She looked at the food, then at the bird. Then she tore a piece of soft bread and crumbled it near the bird's beak, offering it water from her cupped hands. "Eat, little one," she whispered. "You need it more than I do." The garden shimmered and dissolved. The spirits nodded. Test of compassion passed. The second test was darker. Adanna stood in a village square that looked eerily like her own. Before her knelt Mama Nkechi, younger, more beautiful, but with the same cruel eyes. "I am your new mother,"
The spirit wearing Mama Nkechi's face said coldly, "You will serve me, obey me, and if you fail, you will be beaten." For 3 days and 3 nights, Adanna endured the same torments she had suffered in life. Beatings, insults, starvation. Every moment tested her breaking point. On the 3rd night, as she wept alone in the darkness, the false Mama Nkechi appeared. "Do you hate me, girl?" Adanna looked up, her eyes red but clear. "No, Mama, I pity you, because someone who causes such pain must carry even greater pain inside themselves." The vision shattered like broken pottery. Test of forgiveness passed. The 3rd test was the cruelest. Adanna was shown a vision of her real mother, alive, smiling, reaching out to her. "Come with me, my daughter," her mother's voice sang sweetly. "Leave this realm. Leave your suffering. Come to the land of the dead, where we can be together forever." Adanna's heart broke. Oh, how she wanted to run into those arms. How she longed to leave behind all pain, all struggle, all loneliness. But something made her pause. "Mama," she whispered, tears flowing freely. "I love you. I miss you every day. But if I come with you now, who will help the children who suffer as I did? Who will show kindness to the bitter hearts? Who will prove that goodness can survive cruelty?" Her mother's image flickered, then transformed into the spirit elder, eyes glowing with approval. "You chose the living over the dead. You chose purpose over comfort. You chose hope over despair." The spirit's voice trembled with emotion. Test of sacrifice passed. The final test was the simplest, yet the most profound. The 7 spirits gathered before her, their forms blazing with ancient power. "Adanna, daughter of sorrow, child of light, you have passed every trial. Your heart is pure, your spirit is strong, your soul is radiant." The central spirit stepped forward. "We did not bring you here by accident. Your stepmother did not sell you. Destiny used her greed to bring you where you needed to be." I don't understand." "You were born for greatness, child. Born to be a queen. Born to heal the broken. Born to bring justice to the unjust." The spirit placed a glowing hand on Adanna's head. "We offer you a choice. Return to your village as you were, poor, suffering, forgotten, or accept your destiny and become what you were always meant to be." Adanna closed her eyes. She thought of all the Adannas in the world, all the children beaten by cruel step-parents, all the orphans walked to the bone, all the innocent souls crushed by greed and hatred. "If I accept," she said slowly, "can I help them? Can I make the world less cruel?" "Yes." "Then I accept." Light exploded through the palace. Mama Nkechi could not believe her fortune. The morning after Adanna disappeared, her compound had transformed. Where there had been a crumbling mud house, now stood a structure of fine wood and clay. Her empty granary overflowed with yams. Her yard filled with fat cows and healthy goats. Gold coins spilled from her storage pots. The villagers stared in amazement. "Mama Nkechi, where did this wealth come from?" "The spirits have blessed me," she lied smoothly, her heart singing with triumph. "They have seen my suffering and rewarded my patience." She built a new house, the finest in 3 villages. She bought wrappers of the richest cloth. she hired workers to farm her land. She walked through the market with her head high, finally receiving the respect she had always craved. "Where is young Adanna?" the village women asked. "Gone to live with wealthy relatives," Mama Nkechi said dismissively. "She is better off without me." For 3 months, she lived as a queen. Then the nightmares began.